Hello, and welcome to another Minisode with Dissonant Waves. It's me and Trix again, and we're back to doing our Green Day bullshit.
That we are.
Trix is high. I'm tired, but I'm drinking a Red Bull. It's 12:30 a.m. This is probably a bad idea, but we're here.
Yeah. Uh, this is what we do. I had a brownie at work. One of the most innocent servers brought them in, and then after I ate the brownie, she's like, "Oh yeah, that was made with an entire plant." So we'll see where we are.
It's it's just the Joker's fucking roulette wheel at this point of like, how much was in there? Who could say?
Yep.
Well, well.
But I have a pretty high tolerance, so
Yeah, you're like my best friend that can do like 100 milligrams and then not feel that weird. Like, oh yeah, 100 milligrams is what makes me feel normal. Like, God, I cannot
I
imagine.
I can do 200 if I'm like trying to party.
Jesus Christ, I could never.
I but I don't really fuck with edibles. I mostly just smoke.
Yeah, I'm more of an edibles person, but even then, 20 makes me like feel my own throat. But
I occasionally buy those infused seltzers,
mhm.
and I'll just suck them down.
Yeah, like one of those, I'm like, oh God, I can't go anywhere. I'm tired. I'm too tired.
Uh, don't smoke enough to become a functioning pothead, kid. It's expensive.
Maybe you'll be cursed with a very low tolerance like me. Who knows? Anyway,
Or
well, this isn't anyway because it's Green Day. Like,
yeah.
why are they fucking called Green Day? Because they smoke weed at one point.
Oh yes, and meth.
So like, it's all part and parcel of the conversation.
Yes.
This time, the idea was to go old and new. So we finally went and did their first two albums, 39 Smooth and Kerplunk. And
Yes.
then, I didn't even know this. Corey mentioned it to me that they re released Saviors this month in June with a bunch of bonus tracks.
Yep.
So it's like, well, I guess we're going to do those as well. Because why the fuck not?
Why not?
The early Green Day albums and the latest, the very latest.
Yes.
So
And we there's some fun stuff here.
it's a real interesting one. You said you had a take. Do you want to start with your take?
Yes, and that is I'm pretty sure Kerplunk is my favorite Green Day album.
Okay, I could see that. What I really like about these two first two albums, like 39 Smooth, is like a kind of a mix of their EPs, early EP, some of their early EPs. So yeah, that's kind of take it or leave it because that's it's is it an album? Is it a compilation? Who can say?
Yeah.
And then Kerplunk is more of the like, oh, this is an album. This is we developed this as an album. So words and context, yada yada yada. But they are so exploring with these two albums. I love that they are just going for whatever they want to do.
Yes. It's there's weird stuff on here. Like
Yes,
on Kerplunk, there's Dominating Love Slave.
and that's a Trey Cool song.
Yes.
That's a really rare Trey Cool doing what he wants to do moment, and that's great.
I want to hear a whole Trey album.
Well, maybe that's the network.
Maybe it is.
But yeah, so like there's obviously other stuff that goes with these that I intentionally chose not to cover. Like there's other EPs and like expanded versions of these albums that we could talk about. I feel like those
Yes.
are best saved for another day because I want to focus in on what these two albums were originally meant to be.
Yeah.
And so, first one, 39 Smooth, the original, released in 1990. So that's 35 years old this year.
Yeah. 35. Holy shit.
So we have a real direct line in the last 35 years of Green Day from this, and this is already after 1,000 hours, which was an '89 release of their debut EP,
Yes.
to what Saviors is now. This deluxe gluttonous madness.
Yes.
So let's see, how are we feeling about what 39 Smooth is?
It's interesting. Um Let me pull up the track list again. I had to pull up. I had 39 Smooth itself isn't on streaming, but all the tracks are.
Yeah, it's the smooth out, slappy, happy hours, whatever.
Yeah. It's on 1039.
Yeah,
Smooth out slappy hours, but like I had to find a specific playlist to like, oh, listen to these.
and I should mention that that's kind of what I mean when I say it's also like early EPs and stuff. Like that's all kind of mixed together now. I very much wanted to kind of carve out what 39 Smooth is specifically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I think we listened to a number of like bands that are doing like the punk thing. We've listened to them from the 80s, we've listened to them from the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s at this point. Probably
Yeah.
something from this decade even I can't remember off my top of my head right now. But I think something that we have come across many, many times is the punk album that is like good, solid, but kind of like solid to a point of like you kind of forget everything
Yeah.
because it's just good and like it's fine.
The good old cheese sandwich.
Yeah, but like sometimes you get disappointed by it because I kind of want to have it stand out more. I kind of want something to like grab me more.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say is that in some ways, 39 Smooth is kind of that cheese sandwich, but I think even from this album, there's interesting stuff that makes it stand out a little bit more than just your regular debut punk album.
Yeah.
Like, I'm remembering like when we did Coneheads, like that was cool, that was fine,
Yes.
but that didn't have like any like that was egg punk, so that's kind of its own thing. But that didn't have like a lot of exploration like even this does. Like
Yeah.
like I Was There kind of stands out to me as like this is kind of a punk song, but not. It's more of just like a rock song.
Yeah.
And like if you kind of look at and like kind of break it down in your head of like what are these songs really? There are some punky like things happening in here, but like there you can still kind of hear like the throwbacks to like the '60s and earlier, in some of like something like I Was There, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of where they went now with Saviors and everything that kind of came before. Like they definitely have honed that like kind of like we're kind of a punk band, we're kind of a throwback style band at this point. Who cares?
Yeah.
But this is I don't know, this is just kind of them, I think, figuring it out and fucking around and finding what that is for them. And I think it's not their best album or anything like that, but it's more admirable.
Definitely.
Like maybe Doogie for me is kind of like Seinfeld affected a little bit because in a way I admire Kerplunk and 39 more than Dookie.
Okay.
Because like
I can understand that.
because like Dookie, you get to that and like that's Green Day. Like that is what Green Day was in the 90s. And that's fine. That's yes. And then they had to build up to that and work to that, and that makes sense. But also there's just not as much exploration. It feels like they have the point of view down. They have we're going to do these guitar tones, we're going to do these like lyrics and these like song ideas. Where these first two are kind of more wild and just kind of like pulling whatever.
Yes.
So I think with those, I'm like, okay, sure. But with this early stuff, I feel like I'm listening to a real band just doing shit.
Yes, I appreciate that for sure.
I wish they would still do this. And they do, but not with the Green Day name.
Yeah.
We've talked about it every time. Like, God, imagine if they just fucked around and like just did random shit again. Like, forget about what guitars you're using. Forget about the tones. Just pick up something new and just write a new riff. Fuck it, just use power chords. Jake, you've muted yourself for some reason. I don't know what's happening there, but
I have no idea how I did that.
well, at least you were muting yourself this time and not just disappearing like last week. So that's good.
Definitely. But power chords is like Mike Kroll's whole thing. Like he's like, yeah, just do a couple power chords.
Yeah, like I don't know, like it's that thing of like all you need in punk is like 3 chords on the truth.
Yeah.
And like you could do Ramones with that shit, you could do Dead Kennedys with that shit. And that's great. That's cool. I feel like with Green Day, they've artistically put themselves in such a corner, like to even go away from that and just do the simple shit would be like a radical choice.
Yes. When do you think the members of Green Day have all gotten together and had a Green Day together?
Oh, I'm sure that's a lot of what they did early on.
Well, I'm saying lately.
Oh, are we gonna count John Kiffmeyer or no?
No, let's just count like lately, like the main current members, Trey.
I'm gonna guess something like 2017.
That sounds right.
Because I feel like maybe this isn't totally correct. This is just me speculating based on nothing. That they are, especially Billy Joe, is very trying not to like do that shit anymore.
Yeah.
Because he's been through rehab a couple times, so he doesn't want to like start falling down the rabbit hole with anything. Maybe.
Yeah.
So like it's just not the same anymore, and so like maybe there was one time when they're kind of like fuck it, let's just go back and have a night and just do it like we used to.
Definitely.
So
I wonder if that has anything to do with like the downfall of their albums. Like, I don't know.
I mean, that's like a whole other can of worms, right? Like that's what happened to Nine Inch Nails. Is that like when Trent Reznor got clean, Nine Inch Nails was not as good as it used to be, and that's very unfortunate.
Yes.
However, Trent Reznor did recover and make a lot of really cool soundtracks for movies, so that is something.
Definitely.
Similarly, not when they're not doing Green Day projects, they still make pretty cool fucking music. So
Yes.
It is something about I still gotta carry on this huge name, but do it differently. That seems to really like screw people up.
Yes.
I don't know why that is or what causes that.
No, it's strange. Because then you also have like there's the exact opposite. Like John Frusciante put out his best work under his name when he got clean.
Yeah. Like I remember I used to work at this secondhand store. I've mentioned it a few times. And when I was hired, one of the people that was in the interview with me was the assistant manager, who was like this 21-year-old punk, younger than me.
Mhm.
I had just finished college, and like he was cool. Like I admired him a lot. I admired that he was able to like get any semblance of power at all at the rinky-dink retail shop we worked at. But he was very much adamantly about that life of like, I can only make good music when I'm fucking high or some shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's not true, right? You know that can't be. Just like it's not a magic fucking key.
No, it's not.
Like that's just an excuse to get drunk.
Yes.
And like maybe that has something to do with substance abuse problems or like something in your own life you need to figure out. But like, yeah, I cannot believe that is only unlocked when you are like sober and like basically less anxious about yourself and what you're doing. That's kind of what it is.
Yes.
It's there. You just need to let it surface and not overthink it.
Absolutely.
So I think about that a lot when I hear like those kinds of stories of like, yeah, we only did the good shit when we were high. We only did the good shit when we were on shit. Like, he may think that, and like the causality may like make it look like that's what it is, but correlation and causation are kind of different.
Yes.
Like, yeah, you probably did a lot of shit in your heyday and like you got popular, but that's just because you were good musicians. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean,
I was more getting at maybe they need the fun again.
Oh, I agree. They need the fun again. It's also the classic story of like, okay, when are they not hungry? When do they stop being hungry?
Yes.
Right? And, they were hungry until they got the Dookie. And the Dookie was a major point for them. And then they kind of had a really good, like, solid run of, like, decent, all-right albums that kind of propelled them further.
Yep.
But, you get to a Warning, and it's kind of like, well, this isn't what it used to be. It's certainly not when we, like, get to, like, Father of All Motherfuckers later on. Nothing like that. But
no.
It's the kind of thing where if Warning had been the end of Green Day, or, like, the supposed Cigarettes and Valentine's album was, like, what they put out, that'd be a whole trajectory of its own.
It would be.
But I feel like
yeah.
How much you want to believe the story of the creation of American Idiot, where that shit got stolen or whatever, there was clearly a hunger in those recordings to do something more.
Yes.
To make something new and fresh and like revitalize the band. And that led them to trying different things. Like there's the whole thing about, oh man, we just started writing 30-second songs and they just started like coming one after the other. and then you get like the fucking 9-minute tracks like Homecoming and it was a Jesus of Suburbia, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like you're not gonna get those unless you're trying and like just fucking throwing shit at the wall and seeing what works.
Absolutely.
And you can say, oh man, when they did the trilogy as we call it, they did fucking 60 some songs, and isn't that doing the same thing? They wrote 1,000,000 songs and fucking figured it out. No, because you can write 69 songs, and they're all basic ass boring bullshit.
Yeah.
It's what those songs are about, what they're doing, what they're saying, how they're made that actually matters.
Absolutely.
Every time they try and go big and like do something that's artistically huge. Hello, Manny. How you doing?
Hi, Manny.
It usually pays off for them.
Yes.
And when you see the evolution, you get this early stuff. You get these first 2 albums, and they're not perfect, but they show a genuine like evolution in sound, evolution in singing. Like you talked last time when we did Woodstock '94 about how Billy Joe sounds different.
Yes.
And he sounds hella different here.
Absolutely. Well, he was like 19 here.
It says he dropped out of high school to do this to do the first album, so I wonder how old he was. Let's look.
What year was he born? 72?
He was born 72, correct. So he was like...
So he would... In 1991 for like Kerplunk, he would have been 19.
Right, but in like 89, 90, he would have been 17, 18.
Yeah.
So he's probably like a senior or something. So he probably turned 18 and then dropped out is what I'm betting.
Yeah.
Because like that lines up pretty well because he's a February baby. So if it says that he dropped out of school right before Kerplunk came or 39 Smooth came out, yeah, you drop out when you turn 18 and then 2 months later the album drops.
Mm-hmm.
That for what that is, that I guess that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
When I was talking earlier, it's like when I like listening to even the Misfits, listening to the Coneheads. I don't know if those albums, the first ones that we listened to, even have the exploration of something like 39 Smooth. Like, for what this is, it's not the most memorable stuff in the world, but there is an exploration.
No. Yes.
That I admire.
It's definitely interesting. I quite like Kerplunk. 2000 Light Years Away is just genuinely my favorite Green Day song.
Okay.
So
yeah, like it's a really strong opening. Welcome to Paradise, of course, is here.
Yes.
And it's an earlier version, but I think it still sounds great.
It does.
For what this album is, I think the song still works here because it kind of makes it sound different in a way.
Yes.
On Dookie, it sounds like such a moment. It sounds like such a big fucking song. Like it's part of the whole like skater punk jacking off in your bedroom kind of like look that they kind of were going for. Yeah. Where here it's a little more muted, a little more like a burst of energy.
Yes.
And it's like this is really good. It slots in with everything else, but it's a really good standout. Like and like Christine Rowe, after that, I think follows it up really nicely. And by that point, you're getting close to the middle of the album where you get Dominated Love Slave, which is kind of like a parody country song.
Yes.
So like
very much so a parody country song.
And like that's the kind of thing you would think, man, that sounds like it sure be a hidden track, and it definitely is not.
No.
It's smack dab in the middle of the album. The fucking Trey Cool, I Want to Be Your Sub Boy, like I don't know, love song. I don't know.
Staple me.
That's the kind of energy I want Green Day to have.
We'll go at Green Day with the staples.
The Green Day that did Dominated Love Slave is the same Green Day that was apparent in Bullet and a Bible.
Yes.
Showing ass and like talking about eating eggs and shit like that.
Yes.
And I just really think those people still exist. I think there is still those characters having fun in different moments of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just not in tune with them anymore like they used to be.
No.
And I don't think it's a growing up thing. I think it's more of like a fame thing. I think it's more of a you don't need them anymore. Or at least I don't think they do. No. But maybe those are the energies that get thrown into stuff like The Network, where it's like characters and like a point of view of its own.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like you kind of throw everything into these other buckets because you just want to have that feeling again.
Yeah.
One of My Lies is also a really good one on Kerplunk.
Yes.
Words I Might Have Ate is the ender is kind of like a nice lighter song again. Not necessarily like Time of Your Life, nice like lighter, but like when we talk about, oh yeah, it's a punk album, it is. But
Yeah.
there's still a lot more expanse and exploration versus Dookie is just kind of a straight punk album.
Yes.
Like Dookie is where they got the vision so tight that like it's a full album of that, and the exploration gets pulled back a bit.
Yes. This is the pre-meth era, I guess we should call it.
Is it confirmed they were doing Meth by Dookie?
Well, I mean that's what Geek Stink Breath is about, which is off of
Oh yeah.
Insomniac, but I'm assuming they were also doing meth during Dookie.
Well, maybe after, because I guess it depends on when they got signed and like when that access became available.
Yeah, who knows?
Because like these first two albums were like the smaller records. Like I guess maybe Kerplunk era is maybe something.
I don't think Kerplunk is in the meth era.
No, like maybe not like
Dookie maybe.
Well, Dookie is like the epitome of like I'm gonna fuck around and do nothing and write songs about it.
Yeah.
So maybe that is because that's kind of I don't know like that's the mentality of someone that has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
But we're just speculating because we don't know.
Absolutely.
Neither of us have done meth, so
No. I have no intentions of doing meth either.
I do not wish to do meth. That seems not great.
I've done cocaine once and it was fantastic, and I'm never going to do cocaine again.
I'm holding you to that.
I have no interest in cocaine.
Good. Don't be like the people I've heard stories about from my fucking film professors.
Oh no, cocaine is way too expensive for me anyways.
That's very fair. Yeah, but as far as the Green Day itself goes, 39 Smooth is also like the weird one because John Kiffmeyer is on the drums. Trey Cool doesn't exist yet.
No, he does not.
But then Trey Cool comes in for Kerplunk. And that's, and of course he gets his starring moment with Dominated Love Slave also. So, like, maybe that's kind of like a cool little way to intro him. I don't know. Be like, hey, this guy's here too now.
What is Kerplunk named after? Because I've always heard the rumor that it was, like, named after the sound of a turd falling in the toilet.
I assumed that's what that was.
Well, fair enough.
Let's see. I mean, can we find it? Let's see. What is the Green Day album Kerplunk named after?
Let's see that Google AI answer.
There is no Google AI answer.
Oh shit!
Amazing. It's the first link is to Wikipedia.
Okay.
But what does the Green Day fandom wiki have to say? Fucking five ads show up as soon as I click on it.
While we're on this aside, I have another aside for what I'd like to cover. The next Green Day we cover with Corey.
Sure.
I want to include this.
Okay.
If I can there it is. Linking right now.
It doesn't say on the wiki what Kerplunk means. Oh. Fucking voice ringtones. Fuck yeah.
It's one of the most obscure Green Day releases I can find.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm sure they made a lot of money off of that.
So I wouldn't use any of them. Well, maybe one. But they are all kind of ass in like a very unique Y2K era way.
Yes. Oh man, the era of buying ringtones.
Yes.
Such a big fucking deal to get fucking ringtones for the longest time.
Oh, absolutely. And ringbacks.
Oh my god. I fucking made I remember I didn't really care as much as a kid. I did shit. I tried my best. The best I could do was getting the Godot ringtone and Ace Attorney as my ringtone for a while.
That's cool.
It sounded like shit.
It always will.
But it sounded like that 8-bit ringtone, so it was something.
That's good.
When was the year that you stopped like caring if your phone rang?
Uh, 2020.
Interesting. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to figure out like, because like that's kind of what it was. I killed ringtones. So like no one wants to fucking have their phone ring anymore.
Um,
Like it was
for a
cool.
while, my text alert was you saying yes and hitting the desk.
Maybe some of us still like stuff like that. Yeah, I feel like somewhere around like the mid 2010s is where oh, probably in college was where I started just having my phone on mute most of the time, or like right now I think I have like a classical piano song, like Chopin or something like it, and you can't fucking hear it for shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like kind of like okay, it rings through, but if I'm not like unless I'm looking directly at it, I'm not gonna know it's ringing, which is kind of
Oh yeah.
what I want.
Or I keep mine on vibrate.
I think vibration shit's loud and like annoying sometimes, so I don't usually do it.
Um,
Like nothing is
well,
worse to me than like in the middle of a conversation and all of a sudden you get the brrr, brrr.
it's kind of important. I have to like feel it while I'm at work.
That's fair. You got to feel all those messages that we send you.
Yeah. Or well, like I need to find out if the shitter's broken or something.
Wouldn't that be something that'd be easier to just kind of like go in the back and tell you?
Well, like find out when the shitter is going to be fixed.
Uh, do you also fix that shit on top of cooking?
Today?
You did it today?
No, I haven't touched the shitter at all. I just pulled a random example out of my ass.
Okay, I'm just like, damn. Do you do everything in these restaurants now?
I do a lot at the restaurants.
Have you been a hostess?
I have not.
Okay, so there's still room to grow.
I have not done. Oh, I have not done any front of house.
Okay, there's a whole half of the business still to learn.
Yes, but I'm fine with not learning any front of house.
Fair. Let's see. I'm looking through the Wikipedia now. I don't think it says anything about what Kerplunk's named after, but I'm guessing it's taking a shit because that lines up with Dookie pretty well.
It does. And I mean 39 smooth. I've taken 39 smooth dumps.
Only 39 in your life.
Yes, it's very unfortunate. They're all spiky Pringles cans.
Well, you have the disease that does that, so like, I guess it makes sense.
Not really. I just have diarrhea a lot.
I thought it was like an IBS situation.
I do. Like every time I have to go to the bathroom, it's an emergency.
It must be great for when you're cooking,
Yeah.
especially when you're cooking alone.
Oh, absolutely.
That seems like a fucking nightmare.
cooking. I'm not cooking alone anymore, though.
You're very muffled now.
I'm not cooking alone anymore, though.
It's good.
But I was on the new concept today, and I had to train two guys at once pretty much while running a portion of the line I've never quite run before. So pretty fun.
That's good. I'm glad you're having fun with it.
Yeah, you got to think on your feet a lot and herd cats.
Better than your days in the factory.
Oh, way better. I hurt myself just as often, but I have cooler stories now.
That's very fair. It's very fair.
Like just today, I opened my thumb on my brand new bread knife because that thing's sharp as fuck.
I'm looking to see if there's anything else about Kerplunk that talks about the name, but
I like how we're just trying to avoid talking about saviors.
I don't know. It's like I feel like we could talk a little bit more about the early stuff if you want. Like, it's just kind of cool to listen to. Like, it's nice.
It is.
It's like a whole other era.
Yeah.
And
like it's shitposty in a way that feels shitposty of its time.
It feels like a band that I would pick.
Yeah.
Like an up and coming band that I would just throw on the podcast and just see how it goes. Which is what I want. Like I want that rawness and honesty.
I getcha.
Like that's why I love doing shit like Skeletubbies or name another fucking obscure weird shit that I did.
At some point I gotta pull out Spaghetti Dogs.
Oh yeah, Gnosis is Alive, that's another obscure one that I did. But it is cool having this context that of like, man, they were young, they were hungry, they were like doing shit, and then we flip that coin and we get the Saviors.
Yes.
And we listened to Saviors before. It's not a bad album. It's probably one of the better recent ones.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, burn the house down amazing, but like gets the job done. It's not embarrassing.
No.
Bobby Socks is a
It's
really cool song.
it's serviceable. It's a serviceable Green Day album.
And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, technically 8 more tracks to go along with it. How do you feel about these?
These ain't it.
I do like one of them. I feel like you could probably figure out which one I like.
Is it the Fiddler one? Because that one was okay.
I mean, it's either version. I think Fuck Off is just fun.
Yeah, Fuck Off is fun, but I much prefer the Fiddler version of Fuck Off.
That's fine. Yeah.
It's interesting because I mentioned that I think it was it Bobby Socks that sounded a lot like one of Fiddler's songs.
Maybe. I don't remember.
It was either Bobby Socks or One Eyed Bastard that sounded like Centipede.
I don't remember anymore, but I'll take your word for it. Oh, that does remind me. I had that moment where I was listening, and Smash It Like Belushi definitely has shades of Know Your Enemy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Fuck Off even had a shade of something there.
Yeah. Again, we're dealing with similar riffs, similar things. We were kind of talking about this with AFI recently. They have a similar problem of just kind of sticking to these riffs. But Green Day has done it for much, much longer.
Yes.
I think
Nick Cole from Jeff Mangum.
I think Bobby Socks should have been one of the acoustic tracks, honestly.
Yeah.
Like Father to a Son, I understand why it's an acoustic. It's kind of fun that Susie Chapstick is also, but I would rather Bobby Socks.
Absolutely, yeah.
At this point, compared to the early days, Green Day reminds me of like a sleeping giant, where like occasionally they will do something that's kind of rad and awesome. Like there was a video going around about them like changing the lyrics to American Idiot for their current tour and like talking about like Palestine and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I admired them doing that.
That is pretty cool.
And again, like a song like Fuck Off, you know, it's like, oh yeah, this is cool. It's straightforward. Yeah. It's kind of basic, but like it's direct. it's Fuck Off.
Yes.
So Fuck off. Yeah, so that's cool. I like that. I want that.
Yeah.
But you know, it's caged in a realm of all these other things that are like, okay, sure. Like Stay Young, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Underdog, sure. Ballyhoo was okay.
Yeah.
You know, you compare this then to something like Tenacious D, which feels now like it's completely sold out.
Yes.
And Green Day still comes off being more political and more like fucking honest and not as much of a sellout, despite them being massive sellouts of like, oh man, Ready Aim Fire is the fucking NHL theme for some reason.
Yes.
And
Ready Fire Aim.
Ready Fire Aim. Yes. And then, you know, then the conversation is there about, you know, get your bag, get the money if you can, but doing shit like that just feeds into this idea that, you know, Green Day just isn't it, that there's no fire anymore, that there's no energy, and every now and then, stuff like Fuck Off will at least be like, yeah, there's still something there, there's still a little bit of ash burning there.
Yes.
But God, it's not Kerplunk. It's not 39 Smooth.
No.
I don't know why they wanted to release these extra tracks like this. I don't know what the purpose is.
I don't either.
I think other than Fuck Off and like the acoustic tracks and like the fiddler thing, like the other stuff were just B-sides.
Okay, here is a theory.
Okay.
Do you think they're trying to pull a Taylor Swift?
In what way?
Like, you know how Taylor Swift like constantly re-releases her albums to stay at the top of the charts, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they're maybe trying to pull one of those?
I mean, there was an article I read that like their album sales shot up like 2,000% because they re-released the album. So it wouldn't be unheard of. I don't know why they want to though. Like, did Savior's not sell enough? So it's like, let's just do it again.
Maybe.
And like, you know, the article, I can't remember where it was, but I remember it also was talking about, yeah, most artists do like the bonus track thing really quickly. It's like usually they're at like the launch of the album or something. This is over a year later. This is a year and a half later. For Pride Month. At that.
Yes.
And there's nothing that's like explicitly like really queer here that I can see. Maybe I'm missing something. So I'm just kind of like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. Like, Smash It Like Belushi, I guess that could be a drug thing.
I have no idea.
Stay Young, I think, is pretty clear. Fuck Off, pretty clear. But Saviors did not have the best track list. But, like, the songs that were
No.
there, you could understand why they were picked.
Yes.
Like, there was enough going on that album to have a good breadth and depth and range of tracks. And adding on this extra 7-8 tracks, it's like, what are we doing? Like, we're adding more bloat to an album that was, like, slightly bloated already.
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just uninteresting in a way.
Like, if you cut like 3 songs from Saviors, the original, I don't know which ones you cut at this point, but like take out 3 of them and then add on Fuck Off somewhere near the end is like a nice little round it to 13, because 13, you know, for punk that seems like a pretty good number.
Yeah.
I think you would have a better album.
Yeah.
And then release everything else as like is Green. Yeah, they've done like a B-sides thing, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they haven't done one in a long time.
No, they haven't.
Let's see. Compilations. Yeah, Shenanigans was their B-sides album.
Yeah.
That, and then International Super Hits was their hits and things.
Yes.
A couple B-sides there as well. But that is to say, I think they're due for something weird like a B-sides album or just something else.
Yeah.
Like, because we've talked about it before of like, man, it really sounds like they put some songs that were meant for the trilogy on these later albums.
Yeah.
But there's probably a good number of those still in the vault.
Oh, absolutely. At some point, we have to cover the different versions of the trilogy we haven't covered yet.
Like what?
Well, there's the entire album Demolicious.
Oh, of course, we gotta get the Demolicious. That's their most recent thing of this.
Yeah, and we also have to talk about the like Otis Big Guitar EP where they redid a couple of trilogy songs and they sounded okay.
Yeah, that's very fair. That you're not wrong about that. We could put the ringtone thing into that, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess if you really want to talk about it, Demolicious is their most recent weird thing because it's just a bunch of demos.
Yeah.
Like they had the second greatest hits thing in 2017, and then this.
Let's
Okay.
have to talk about that U2 song they were on.
Oh, the Saints Go Marching or whatever.
Yeah.
It's gonna be weird. Yeah, they did. Okay, they did
There's
one.
just a lot of weird shit we have to cover.
Yeah, they did one new track, for God's favorite band back in the USA. So we'll do the greatest hits ones at some point because there's new songs on those.
Yeah. Like we'll obviously take the time to like condense and strip down the greatest hits.
Ordinary World has a duet with Miranda Lambert on this one. Interesting. Okay. Is there anything weird on International Super Hits besides the new tracks?
I don't know.
Oh, I mean, there's a couple. There's Jar, of course. Nothing like a re-recording except for they did Maria, which is a B-side.
Okay.
That's like some interview content, it looks like. But nothing like, oh, it's a duet now.
Yeah.
And so here we are. What have we learned this time around?
That early Green Day is really, really good.
That's true. Anything else?
And there's a Billy Cobb video I think about a lot, where it's like new Green Day versus old Green Day, and I'll have to link it after this recording, and it's accurate.
But you still see signs of life, especially when you consider the greater mythos around Green Day and everything else.
Yes.
Like, you know that those fucking creative bones are still in those bodies. And
yes,
even if it's doing something really basic like Fuck Off, you can still get a sense of it, but it's not. If they're just gonna release a new album every election cycle, it's kind of like, what's the fucking point? I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, when did they start doing that? Like, I know we talked about this before, but American Idiot was 2004, Warning was 2000, Yeah, Nimrod being 97, Insomniac being 90. Yeah, that's when it changed. Was Warning.
Yeah, Warning.
And they did some stuff in between, of course, but
Yeah.
I would really like to see
like,
them break that.
Yeah.
Because I think, if you want to be political, have like the running commentary about it. Don't just do it, oh man, shit was fucked up before and it's fucked up now, 4 years later. Like,
yes.
give us a live commentary. Give us the what are you feeling, what are you thinking as things go.
Absolutely. Give us more Green Day.
Like, but make it thoughtful, make it interesting.
Yes.
Don't give me fucking
Don't phone it in.
I was a teenager.
Green Day, everybody.
Going back to the fucking Father of All Motherfuckers Wikipedia page, for the composition section, it starts, according to lead vocalist Billie Joe Armstrong, the album is the new soul, Motown, glam, and manic anthemic, punks, freaks, and punishers. It's not.
No.
It's so fucking not.
I wonder if Father of All was like a relapse album.
That's damn.
Yeah.
Oh, this is new. They have added a section about Live at the Whiskey, which is like a little EP they did. I guess that they released of like live tracks from something they did in the run up to Father of All.
Okay.
It's only like 2 tracks, but it might be worth covering at some point as well.
Yeah.
It's literally just a live version of Father of All followed by American Idiot.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll throw it on the pile of maybes and eventuallys.
Yes.
Okay. I think we'll call it for this one. This has been Dominic and Trix. Dominatrix, if you will.
Yes.
Our
join us next time where we go to an actual dominatrix and we just pay her to go at us with a Theragun.
Is that a massager?
Yes.
Fair enough. Okay. We could just get people to flog us if you want to do that. I don't know.
It's not that intense, man, but like I'm thinking like I've actually been thinking like, damn, my muscles are sore. I should probably like get a Theragun. And then I'm like, if I wanted somebody to Theragun me the hardest they possibly could, who would I go to? And I'm thinking like, oh, I'd just probably go to a dominatrix.
Very fair, very fair.
It's like, oh, they deal with pain. They're gonna know not to stop when I'm screaming. Okay, yeah, fine. I can wear a ball gag.
Yes. I've seen there are ball gags. Instead of the ball, it's a rubber duck.
So it's a burrito.
I guess.
For me.
Yeah, there you go. All right. With that, we'll call it here. Our shit's in the description below. Thanks for joining us on another Green Day outing.
Oui.
Things will be returning to normal, I think, next week. Ritz should be back from vacation. So stay tuned for that.
And I'll be in my new place.
Hell yeah. The Trix moving arc has been going on behind the scenes throughout these last couple episodes. Anyway, have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.